I'm John Skinner, and this supports Chapter 3 in my book Striper Pursuit, and you can learn more about the book at striperpursuit.com. These are Guppy Brand mini pencil poppers. The top two are the 2-ounce round plugs. The bottom one is the 2 3/8 mini flat bottom. The difference between the first two is that in the second one, I've upgraded the hooks from 2.0 VMCs to 3.0 6X strong. Alright, so we're here in eastern Long Island Sound. I've been throwing a pencil for a bit, and I'm not getting any action. I need a little extra distance. I'm going to go to the 2-ounce mini round, and I'm going to this plug because it's just a really excellent casting distance plug. It doesn't tend to tear up the surface of the water as much as some other poppers, but in terms of casting distance, at this time, it's the best casting pencil I've got in the bag. In this video, I have the camera angled to focus on that hand that's up above the reel. I'm cranking very slowly, but I have the line between my thumb and forefinger as I'm shaking that rod back and forth. And I want you to notice that on the hit, I'll instantly let go of the line, but that will leave my hand in a very good spot in terms of getting leverage and power on the fish. Right there. This part of Long Island Sound has pretty decent current, and the fish just know to take advantage of that, so it's going well to my left with the current. At the beginning of the video, I mentioned the two different kinds of Guppy pencils. This is the rounded 2-ounce. I use this plug the most. I don't use the flat bottom as much, especially in this calmish water. I find that the 2-ounce has better action. Now, if you were in rougher water, even stronger current, I know guys, in that case, will prefer the flat bottom plug. You won't get to see it on this video, but I've got it on other videos. That the standard pencil popper retrieve is you're cranking slow. You've got that hand up above the reel, holding the line with the thumb and forefinger while shaking that rod back and forth. And the desired action is that that plug is going to be dancing back and forth slowly on the surface of the water, and it's deadly, and it will take quality bass even in the daylight. Probably because when it's sitting there thrashing on top of the water, they can't get a very good look at it, and it just looks like a big free easy meal, and many times they'll respond. Alright, so that's a nice fish. The next one's going to be significantly better. So note when I throw this plug back in the water, it's going to sink, and normally it's a floater, but since I've upgraded to the slightly larger and 6X strong hooks, it's caused the plug to, it's just somewhat negatively buoyant. Works great though, casts beautifully. This is actually just a few casts later. So the reason for holding the line between the thumb and forefinger like that is to make sure that the line goes on the spool smoothly and evenly. Otherwise, if you're shaking it violently, you might introduce loops. It could cause a problem on the cast. It's too far out to sea, but I've got a fish that's boiling and tailing this plug, and I'm just going to shake that plug as much as I can, try to tear up that surface of the water, and that fish is going to commit. If you follow my videos, you've seen this rod many times. This is a Lamiglass 9-foot medium action custom graphite. It's built on a GSB 121L blank. That's a 10-footer, 1 foot cut from the butt. The reel is a Penn 6500 SSV bailless. I've used this reel for an entire season for a lot of different fishing. I love the drag system on it, And at the end of the season, when I opened it up, despite that the reel had been washed over many times by waves and dunked and everything else, there was no water inside. The grease looked great, so I'm quite impressed with it. So if you notice, I take short rod pumps on a fish like this. I know this is a quality fish. I've got rocks around, and I'm just taking real short strokes on it. And basically the idea is I want to keep that fish moving. I do not want to give it a chance to turn its head and run, because if it can muster a good run in this area, there's a good chance it can cut me off. Okay, the reel is spooled with 30-pound test spider wire stealth braid. At the end of the braid I have about a 3-foot leader of 50-pound test fluorocarbon. The leader is attached to the braid with a Tsunami Centro swivel, and at the end of the leader I have a tactical angler's clip to attach the plug. These Guppy pencils are real top-shelf premium lures, and the price reflects that. These plugs run about $22, $23. So I tend to stay clear of bluefish when I'm using them. One of the places I know that carries these plugs is J&H Tackle, Oakdale, Long Island, both in the store and online. Yeah, that's a good one for sure. I don't know what that weighs. I didn't have a lot of time to fish, so I didn't want to lose any time weighing it. Okay, if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to my channel.